Okay, so I'm Isaac, and
Yes.
could you please talk about your service being volunteering, whether it being your job or a military experience?
Well, I had no military experience. No, I'm too old for that. But volunteering, I was in the church choir for many, many years.
Okay.
My husband taught music at Concordia University next door. So both of us joined the choir when we moved here from Indiana. And so that was a very important part for me to volunteer with the choir. And I finally had to stop because of my standing problems. But I was, at the same time then, I was in the school office and really enjoyed the kids coming by and saying hi, talking to the parents. You know, it was really a wonderful time in my life. Just a good thing to do. So, what else would you like to?
Has anybody influenced your life?
Has what?
Anybody influenced your life at all?
Well, yes. Before moving here, I was in early college years, and I had several teachers that, again, music, that's a big part of my life, still is, just to be here, to sing hymns and so forth. But a couple of teachers influenced me greatly to help me, and I think it's important to listen to the teachers, you know, and because at the time you're going through that, you think, who wants to do this? But it's important. When you get older, you realize how much it means to your life coming up for you. Yeah.
Can you share a school experience, like lessons or stories?
Oh boy. I'm sure I could have think long enough, but I like sports too. I mean, in fact, I love to watch games on television. I participated in volleyball when I was in high school, and that was fun. And I still like to watch. I keep every once in a while when I see in letters or in the church newsletters about kids here in school, what they accomplish. That just makes me very happy because it was a good part of my time to just enjoy sports and being with one another and having a good time.
Has faith played a role in your life, or could you speak of an experience?
Okay, faith has always been a part of my life. My parents were very good Christians. They brought me to Jesus in baptism, and I went through a Lutheran school, grade school and high school and college. Part of my 2 years of my college years, and Christ was always right here in the center of my heart, and still is, and I'm so grateful for that. That it just a lot of times you kind of forget about those things, but something will trigger your thoughts to come right back to it. That's important also. Remember how you're being cared for day by day, you know. And I've had a couple of experiences medically. I had cancer some years ago, about 9 years ago. And I had a major back surgery that almost lost my life. I was bleeding so badly on the table that they weren't sure I'd make it. So obviously to me, my life wasn't over yet because the Lord said, you've got other things to do. So things like that, you know, it very important, again, for Christ to be in your life. Trust in Him.
And can you tell us about your job experience?
In the school office, I had a part-time job at Concordia for a while before I came here. And I had one of the principals that I worked with here was Mr. Kane's father-in-law. His wife's father was principal, and I worked with him for 20 years. And 7 years before that was another principal. He was fairly old already when I took the job, but it was difficult to start working when you realize you've got a whole school of kids and all of the things it entails, ordering things and making sure everything's in the right place for the kids to make their day go well. It was a good experience, but I loved it because it was just, I did not want to retire, but it was just time.
Did you have any hard times in your job?
Yes, there were some. Let me think. Some of the children, a couple of kids in those years were difficult, not only for the teachers, but for me too. I mean, it was very hard to reach some of them. And so it was, I can't recall all of the things. I mean, I don't want to go into the details. It would take an hour. But no, everything, basically, I think that's about it. Just learning the job was part of it. I mean, that was hard. Let's see. Just going all over the school as far as upstairs and downstairs. And eventually it was obvious I couldn't do that. That was a hard thing for me too, because I had to stay close to my desk and couldn't walk around a lot. So that was my reason for retirement.
Can you speak of an experience where you've seen God in your life?
Yeah, that one surgery. Very much so. I did not realize it at the time that it was that serious, and I didn't find it out till weeks after I met with the surgeon for a checkup. Then he said to me, you probably really shouldn't be here. And I didn't know what he meant at first, but that's when he told me about the drainage of blood I had to get so many transfusions. And I had to thank God right away, for saving my life and letting me continue on to serve him as best I could.
Any important lessons that you can remember now in school?
When I was a student, or when I was working?
When you were a student.
When I was a student. It's nothing like a lot of people might have, but most of my experiences were with music. And I remember when I went into the 5th grade, that was the first year that kids could be in the choir, kids choir. And I was so surprised. At Christmas time, the choir director said to me, "You're going to sing that piece by yourself." I don't remember now what the name of the piece was, but he wanted me to sing it by myself, just all alone. And he was so happy with that, because I do a lot of singing. I've done a lot of solo work over the years. And it suddenly dawned on me, this is a gift I've been given. And I still feel that way today, even just singing hymns in church, that I have a good voice, and I thank God for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like some are starting to.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, I'm happy. Tell me a little bit about you. How long have you been at Grace? The whole time or not?
No, I came here in 3rd grade,
Okay.
and let's see. So far, only 2 people have left our class. So,
Yeah. Do you like Grace?
yeah, it's a good school.
Good. I thought so too. My children went here too. So, yeah. Yeah. So I really am delighted that we could do this. I hope it helped. Now, what do you do with the results of these things? You just talk about it in your classroom?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There must be some reason for it, I'm sure. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And are you in sports or choir or anything?
There aren't really a lot of sports going on now. There's a school
Oh, that's
choir.
probably right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a school choir, so we're doing that.
Good. Well, I was surprised to see Emmanuel. He lives in the building in which I live. And I knew he was here in school, but I did not remember what grade he was in. So he's older than I thought. No, but he's a delightful young person too. And you are too, Isaac.
Thank you.
I really enjoy this visit, and I hope it helps you a little bit in what you have to deal with. So, good. I thank you very much.
Harry.